Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming down to the Gungahlin Community Council meeting. My name is Henley Samuel, Vice President, and on behalf of our executive team, I welcome each one of you and welcome the viewers on Facebook. Because it's a new location, just tips, the bathrooms are right just on the second door. Just take a right, immediate right. And sorry about the technical delays that we had today. It's always fun working with technology. Without further delay, I'd like to invite people from the Canberra Metro, Mark Jones, Deputy Project Manager, Director, and we got Glenn Stockton. So we're going to get some updates on construction and progress, and once they're done the presentation, I'll open the forum up so we can have some Q&A. So let's welcome the team.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Glenn Stockton. I'm the CEO of Canberra Metro, and I'll be supported this evening with Mark Jones, who is the Deputy Construction Project Director for the Canberra Metro team. Our aim tonight is to provide you with some information on the current status of the project, also to focus on some key safety messages that are becoming quite prevalent now as we move our way from the pure construction phase into the testing and commissioning phase and the commencement of rolling stock or our light rail vehicles on track, and leave you with those messages, but also give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have that relate to the light rail project that we're very privileged to be involved with. Because I'm not great with technology, I'm assisted this afternoon or this evening by Harley, who will help us through the slideshow. So next slide. Obviously the map there depicts the alignment that the project will follow from Gungahlin here in the north all the way through to the city centre. 13 stops, 2 terminuses, one here at Gungahlin and then the other down at Alinga Street in Civic. The light rail vehicles themselves, there'll be 14 light rail vehicles. We currently have 6 of those here in Canberra, the remaining 8. One of those will arrive again on Thursday evening this week, and progressively through we'll receive the remainder of our vehicle fleet. That 14 vehicles allows us to meet a timetable outcome that I'll talk to shortly. Essentially the information's there for you, but one of the initiatives with this project is the ability to take vehicles on board, take bicycles on board those vehicles. They're a size in themselves, approximately 34 tonnes, 33 metres in length. In fact, and our first vehicle out on the alignment is vicinity there of Kate Crace Street at the moment. So if you drive along Flemington Road toward Gungahlin Town Centre, you'll see that vehicle parked up there at the moment in preparation for the next phase of our testing and commissioning. Next slide. Those 14 vehicles allow us to run a 6-minute headway for peak service and then 10 to 15 minutes headway for off-peak. So that's the sort of frequency that you would expect for the vehicles along the alignment. Each vehicle itself can take over 200 people, and then we have about 18 customer service staff that will be utilised across the timetable to help passengers, customers throughout the day to avail themselves safely and efficiently of the light rail service that we'll offer. Our drivers are currently in recruitment and in training, and in fact we've just had a number of our drivers training over in Edinburgh. So we had 4 drivers over there undertaking light rail vehicle familiarisation and training with their system. We'll have a central control centre established at our location in our depot in Mitchell. That'll be manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and will have CCTV coverage across the alignment, so within the vehicles and also at each of the stops. And that allows us to help the coordination and control, but also supports public safety of those that are looking to use the service as well. I mentioned there that the overhead lines, obviously we are a light rail system that is powered with overhead lines, and those overhead lines should be deemed live at all times. Next slide, thanks. I'll ask Mark to give you an update on our light rail construction progress.
Cheers, mate. So yeah, a number of slides here. First slide, just a general overview of the project, and then I get into a bit more specifics around Gungahlin itself. In terms of the project, 50% of the rail installed, so pretty much from Gungahlin down to the depot at the moment, we've got rail installed in our track, and as you would have seen, we've actually ran our first LRV up from the depot on Monday evening. So that was a real milestone for the project and something we've been working for a number of months. May was our busiest month on the project, so since February, when has been very productive for us, and a lot of track slab has gone down. We are in effect out of the ground now, so you will see a lot more progress, and I certainly hope you've seen it around Gungahlin recently. In terms of the overheads are progressing really well, so that follows the track installation fairly quickly. We can get overheads up. We get poles up early, and then we string overheads, and we can do a couple of kilometres of overheads in literally a week. So once you see poles going up, overheads is never too far behind. And we've got our first substation up at Gungahlin energised now. We've had a couple of small teething issues in the last couple of days, but we will look to energise overheads in the coming days, so that's happening imminently. In terms of landscaping, we started landscaping crews in January this year. We've got over 1,200 trees to install across the alignment, and we've actually gone past 300 trees installed already. So a good example of what we have done. Obviously, trees have gone into Gungahlin Place now, and between Well Station Drive and Nullarbor, that block there is pretty much entirely complete. So you can see what you're going to get. You've got landscaping either side, mulch in, and a tree-lined boulevard, which looks great. Glenn mentioned stops. I've had a lot of involvement with getting these stops out of the ground, and certainly there's 5 stops up this end of the job's commenced. There's another one on the Federal Highway that's just commenced as well. These stops, they're going to be world class. The finishers and the crews that we've got working on them at the moment are doing a really good job. The stop at Nullarbor is what we call our prototype stop. So we pretty much trial and get it right at Nullarbor. We get it ticked off, and then we progress out. So you will see Nullarbor staying ahead of the game, and then progressively, working up and getting Gungahlin finished as well. So around Gungahlin specifically, there has been a significant push in Gungahlin itself. Obviously, very mindful of the disruption that light rail has brought to the area. A big push during May. We had crews starting at 5:30 in the morning, running through to 11 o'clock at night, just to push that through. It has been a good month for us, and we will see our operations pretty much clear of that area in June, which is good for Gungahlin, and also good for us because we've got a lot more work down in the south. You will see road barriers being progressively removed, so we have to remove them as part of our landscaping work. So you'll continue to see that. You'll continue to see the stops go. And yes, in the next week you will see LRVs start moving under their own operation, even though that will be happening at night. That is certainly something coming up. What's next for Gungahlin? Next slide, Harley. There's still a lot of final asphalting work to do. So our focus in the last few months has been around purely the rail alignment. That is our critical path. We need to get LRVs on track so we can start testing them. But once the cooler weather comes and then goes again, once we get closer to spring, there will be a lot of asphalting work that we need to do. We're limited on what we can do during winter. So around or into spring, final asphalting works, final line marking around those intersections. So again, works that will predominantly happen at night because of the amount of impact that we're going to have on traffic. But that'll certainly happen. Finalisation of all the traffic signals, street lighting, all that stuff will also happen. Ongoing landscaping works, maintenance of that landscaping works as well. So there's ongoing watering that we need to do, and certainly up in the north here, LRVs will commence testing in June, and they'll be running now for the rest of the year. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Quickly on operations, I mentioned we've had I mentioned we had 6 vehicles already arrived in Canberra, with our 7th vehicle due this Thursday evening in the middle of the night. We have started employing people in our operations team, and we are commencing our training for drivers in particular. We've also been working closely now with ACT Emergency Services, and we need to be able to work effectively with them to ensure safety of the public and to respond to any incidents that we may have on the alignment as we undergo either testing and commissioning or into proper operations. Next slide, thanks Harley. What I'd like to do now is just cover some key safety facts. Pleasingly, in the Gunsmoke magazine, I see that we've got a 2-page element there toward the back of the magazine, which also highlights those key safety messages. And this is quite important for us now as we move into energisation of those overheads that Mark spoke of, and the movement of the vehicle through intersections and those interfaces that we now start to see between people and the light rail vehicles, whether those people be riding their push bikes, in their own personal vehicles, taking other forms of public transport, or indeed as pedestrians moving their way around the city centre. We're stringing overheads now. Those wires, once energised, carry 750 volts, so they are substantial in their capacity, and they are therefore quite dangerous. So people need to make sure they keep away from the overheads, particularly those that are with oversized or over-dimensional loads. Need to ensure they understand their height restrictions and move their way safely underneath those wires. We'll go through a rigorous testing program. That program will take us some 5 to 6 months, and that allows us to ensure that the light rail vehicle and the system that supports it is safe for all those that will use it in the future. So we take our time and progressively test our way through the vehicles, the central control system, the electrification system that we have to support it, the road traffic control signal systems that will interface with as we move the vehicles through, interfaces with the travelling public as well. Pedestrians, importantly, the way the project is designed is to support pedestrian movement and interface with the light rail alignment, and that allows pedestrians to move safely across the light rail line by encourage them to approach it at right angles, be able to observe in both directions for light rail vehicles, and then safely move across both sets of tracks. So you'll find that the way the intersections and the pedestrian crossings are designed to support the safe movement of all that interface with the light rail alignment. Importantly, you need to stay alert, and unfortunately, as we see the take-up of mobile devices and people with heads down, focused on what's on their device as opposed to what perhaps is around them, that does create a safety risk, and I'll just encourage people to look out not for themselves but also for others that they may see putting themselves in a dangerous situation. We have put light rail track into a concrete rebate, and therefore if you get yourself at the wrong angle, you can find yourself stuck or constrained with small wheels, particularly thin wheels of bicycles or indeed prams. So our advice is always to cross at a right angle and make sure you keep a straight approach onto the light rail. Importantly, the road rules stay the same. And while there's been legislation passed within the ACT that supports the introduction of light rail, the basic premise of road rules stay the same. Obey the signals and everyone keeps safe. Next slide, thanks. There's a video now that we'll show, and that'll give you some insight as well.
The following safety information is for pedestrians, cyclists and drivers. Light rail vehicles move quickly and quietly. Please stay alert. Pedestrians should only cross at designated crossings. Listening to music, reading, texting or taking photos can put you at risk. Remember to always look both ways when crossing, as the light rail vehicles can approach from either direction. Cyclists should always keep a safe distance. Cross the track at a right angle to avoid your wheels getting stuck in the grooves. Remember that the LRVs are wider than the tracks, so always keep a safe distance. Heavy vehicles must know their load height. The overhead wire is live, so please keep away. In the event of an emergency, dial 000. It is strictly prohibited to drive along the tracks. Drivers should not queue across the tracks at any time and always obey the traffic lights and road signs. The rules of the road stay the same. If we all follow the rules, we'll all stay safe. Canberra Metro has developed a number of safety resources. Visit canberra-metro.com.au and make sure you're rail ready.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for the opportunity to introduce some aspects of the project to you and provide you that update. It's certainly our privilege to be involved in the project, and we're really looking forward to delivering you a fantastic outcome with the light rail project for the ACT. And we're happy to take any questions that relate to the project.
Go on from online. I might just jump in first. Can you make any comment on accessibility for people with a disability?
The question about accessibility for those with disability has been considered at the start of the project through the design phase. And what we have, the light rail vehicles themselves are a low floor arrangement, which means that when the light rail vehicle arrives at the stop itself, the floor of the light rail vehicle is level with the level of the stop. So people with disabilities, they might be mobility impaired, have smooth access into the vehicle, and once in the vehicle they can move about the vehicle without having to navigate any steps or different height arrangements within the vehicle itself. For those that are maybe sight impaired, there's also arrangements put in place to help them navigate safely on the stop and also navigate safely within the vehicle itself.
The hours for operation, is it from, say, 6 a.m. in the morning to 8 o'clock at night? What hours?
The hours through the week, and I'd have to confirm this because it's not an area that I've focused on. I think it's from 6 a.m. until approximately 11 p.m. at night. And then on weekends it extends out to, I think, 1 a.m. in the morning. So it's an extensive service, probably a more extensive service than the current public transport system on offer.
When are these streetlights along Leamington Road going to be restored? Because we've had sections of the road in almost complete darkness for many, many months now.
Okay. Mark, are you able to help with that?
Yes. So streetlights along Flemington Road, all our new streetlights get new feeds from Endeavour Energy, Evo Energy. So all those outages are now scheduled. Progressively, over the next few weeks, you will see streetlights coming along Flemington Road. There has been a delay. All the stops get new feeds and the like. So it's certainly something we're working towards, and even Transport Canberra City Services is working with us to get them in place.
This is a bit of a rules and regulations question, so it might be more Transport Canberra, so I'll just try anyway. Early on I read some of the publication on rules for carrying luggage, large objects, bicycles on the light rail system. And basically, at any point, a light rail officer or a ACT government representative can say this is a danger, off the tram. So I'm wondering what might happen at a time period when there's a lot of people